¿Eh?
¿Por qué no lo llamas a Gottlieb? Pienso que...
A ver, ahora voy a empezar a decir, Ana, ¿qué querés que haga? ¿Que lo llame después? Ana, Ana, ¿no llamarías vos?
Sí, la voy a llamar a ella.
Eso debe saber mejor que él, ¿dónde fue él? Ana, yo tenía un papel arriba del escritorio, ¿te lo llevaste? ¿Con nombres, con cosas? Yo me había loco. Hi, Alan.
Good evening. Good evening.
How are you?
Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Good.
That's good.
Yeah. How about
That's good.
yourself?
Well, still with my knee, but
Your knee?
yeah, it's gonna get solved one way or another.
You have to have. You think you have to have a knee replacement?
No, I have a torn ligament,
Oh boy.
so I need
How'd you-
surgery.
Oh
According to
boy.
one doctor, so I'm gonna see another one.
Oh boy. Did you fall or something?
No,
How'd you get it? How'd you get the torn ligament?
I don't know. Walking probably.
Think so?
Yeah, I I had something 3 years ago, but the doctor wanted to operate at that time. I said, you know what? It's
Live
gonna
with it,
heal
huh?
by itself.
Uh-huh.
But it didn't heal by itself.
Wow. I have also
So,
knee problem. I have a knee problem too. I have to take one step at a time. I can't walk one and up. I have to take with one step up and then I can the follow it. I can't walk up steps. That's my big problem.
oh no, that's what I'm doing because it hurts like
Yeah, it hurts me
crazy.
too. I thought it was like a bone on bone that the doctor wants to make a
Yes,
replacement of.
when the
Yeah.
ligament breaks, the bones are like this. So what they
That's
do,
a,
he wants to file the bone also, so they don't get together.
they put sometimes a lubricant in between them. Sometimes they
No,
give you a shot.
I asked him that.
Yeah.
I have a friend, she gets it done. Instead of surgery, she's getting a gel.
The
So
gel,
this
right.
doctor,
I've done that. It lasts
you've
for a
done that?
while. It lasts for a while.
I know, for 6 months.
Yeah, maybe if you're lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, and I read online and it says some patients just don't see any improvement, or you
Uh-huh.
get swelling of the knee because of the gel.
Really? Yeah.
The doctor told me if I would be in my 20s, he could take the filament, the whatever, the ligament out, and implant one from a cadaver,
Uh,
and it would take, but not at my age, and not in your age, of course, but if you're a young kid and the young people get it to happen when they play rough
soccer, yeah. Rough kick.
Soccer
Yeah,
mostly.
yeah. Uh-huh.
I remember when I was growing up, if a soccer player got hit on the knee,
You're
And
finished.
the meniscus went, his career was over.
Yeah, career's over, right? Yeah, meniscus is the worst. The
Hi,
meniscus is the
Ernie.
worst.
Hello.
Hi, Ernie.
Oh, you changed scenery.
So we're on Chaf Bays 22. Tomorrow we'll learn at 8 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Halach Gadol Habayis L'Beis HaKvaros Ma'u. If the Gadol Habayis goes to the cemetery, what is the din that, hi Walter, welcome back. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, guys. How are you?
Walter, you told me you went for 2 weeks and you went for 2 days.
I went for 2 days. That you didn't understand. When I
Okay.
said I'm going for 2 days. 2 days and four COVID tests, but that's okay. Yeah.
So
Crazy.
Toshma, Amrav Chia Barav, Amrav Yecha, Filu Halach Gadol Habayis L'Beis HaKvaros Mona Iman. Even if the Gadol Habayis went to the cemetery, the Avel who joined them continues to counting with them. Afraid the Gemara Moina Iman, Vatanya Moina Latzmo. We have a Bryce that says he counts new 7 days. Loi Kasha Hada Asu Begut Plus. That depends whether he came within the first 3 days. Vahada Lo Asu Begut Plus, or if he came after. Ki Hada Amarlu Rav Livni at Slafoni. The Asu Begut Plus are those that come within the 3 days Limnu Badaichu. They count with the other people. The Lo Asu Begut Plus or Limnu Nafshai. If they come after 3 days, they count on their own. Amalu Rav of Nemachuz, Asan de la Azlitu Basar Arsa. You people who do not follow, let's say somebody's going to be buried in Eretz Yisrael, and some people go with the mace and some people stay in Los Angeles. So, when you turn your face to go back home away from the mace, means you're finished with doing whatever the mace needed, and you turn from the gate and you go back to your house, that's when you start counting. While the people are going to only start counting once they bury in Eretz Yisrael. That if you come from a close place, even if it's on the 7th day, you don't have to start a new count. That's as long as there's still comforters there. So let me read the Shulchan Aruch, Yoredeya, Seif Beis of Shinayin Hay. Places where they would take a body somewhere else to bury. Hanisharim b'makom, those that remain home, kivan shechziru pneiam milovos usameis, once they turn their face from being the lava the mace, then matzchilin in Moshe. That's when they start counting Shiva. The haholchim imo, or those that go with the mace, moinim mishiyikaver, they only start counting Shiva after the burial. V'im gadol habayis holechem hameis, if the head of the household is traveling with the mace, then the people left behind in Los Angeles don't start counting until the Kavura. Now, what is the definition of Gadol Habayis? The family relies on the Gadol Habayis. Bein shu Gadol b'shani, bein shu katan. Doesn't make them. It's not a matter of age. He has to be at least 13 years old. Now, the kasher isha mesa, when a wife dies, chas v'sholom, the husband is considered the Gadol Habayis no matter what. Boy Ravanan, Nina Rulamod v'lo Dumau. The Menachemim are getting up. They're like in the process of getting up. They haven't stood up yet. What is the din regarding a person who joins on the 7th day? We said that if you find Menachemim there, he can just count the Shiva. But what about if they started getting up? So the din is Teku. Demiri Chavid Ravava Barchiyam Rababa, that Rababa learned from Rababa, Uman Rab Zeir, V'amila Chavid Rab Zeir Rab Zeir, the friend of Rab Zeir from Rab Zeir, Uman Rababa, Braid Rav Chia Baraba. What did they learn? Am Rav Yechon, 2 halachas. Halacha Rab Shimon Gamliel betrefes. We'll see what that is. V'halachik Rab Shimon be'evel, which was this makel that on the seventh day, if a person shows up from a makom krova, he only has to count with the avel. Rab Shimon be'avel hadamar. Rab Shimon Gamliel betrayfus. What's this not? B'nei me'ayim shenikvu. You have a hole in the intestine. Now, that's normally one of the yudches simonim of trefus. V'leicha soit masan. You have like some moisture from the intestine that plugs it up. Ksheira. Different Reb Shimon Gamliel. My lecha. What is this lecha? It's like a piece of fat that if you press the intestine, it comes out of there. He says, I need this chus to go up to Eretz Yisrael, and I want to hear this halacha directly from his mouth. Is this what you said? The halacha is like Reb Shimon Gamliel b'trefus? No, I didn't say the halacha is like Reb Shimon. I said ein halacha. And in fact, that's the din. A hole in the intestine that is just plugged with material from the intestine, it's still treif. What about Reb Shimon be'evel mai? What about this din that the halacha is like Reb Shimon be'evel? Aberlei plukta ninu. That's a machlokes. The idmar. Rav Chizda Omar halacha. V'cheidam Rav Yochanan halacha. But Rav Nachman Omar ain't halacha. And the ain't halacha Reb Shimon be'gamliel be'trefus. However, the halacha Reb Shimon be'evel. The Amar Shmuel halacha divrei mekel be'evel. We're always lenient when it comes to avelus. So we follow the din of Reb Shimon Gamliel by avelus. Al kol hamesim kulan matcha mitaso harei meshubach. By all other mesim, that if you quickly bury the mace, that's praiseworthy. Al avivala ima harei meguna. But burying your parents, it's better that you should be marich the aninus, and therefore you don't have to rush to bury parents so quickly. Now, Erev Shabbos or Erev Yontif harei meshubach. Even for parents, if it's Erev Shabbos or Erev Yontif, then you should bury them quickly. It's the fact that they're not delaying it, it's the covet for his parent. By other mesim, you can decide to reduce your business or not reduce your business. You have to reduce your business.
Generally, one of the reasons they're makel on avelus is because by person avelus, a lot of mitzvahs he cannot do. That's why they make it an avelus more than, let's say, a shechita or something like that.
What was that?
That they're makel on avelus because a person in avelus, there's a lot of mitzvahs he cannot do. He's limited in what he can do as far as mitzvahs.
We're also makel because most of these dinim are drabonim. So by drabonim, we always not makel. By other mason, if he wants to remove one of his outer garments, he can, or if he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to. But by his parents, he always has to remove the outer coat. There was a gadol ador, his father died, he wanted to take off the coat. And there was a gadol ador with him who also wanted to take off his coat. But he ended up not, the first guy, the one who lost his father, did not. He didn't want to cause his friend to have to remove it. Amar Abaye gadol ador Rebbe, and gadol ador she'imo Rabbi Yaakov Baracha. The gadol ador who's lost his father was Rebbe, and the other gadol ador was Rabbi Yaakov Baracha. The Ikid Amri, the opposite. Gadol ador Rabbi Yaakov Baracha, gadol ador she'imo Rebbe. So Bishlam Amandor gadol ador she'imo Rebbe. Hainu dinim navloy cholot. I understand if Rebbe is the gadol ador that was with Rabbi Yaakov Baracha, that's why Rabbi Yaakov Baracha didn't want to be cholos, because he didn't want Rebbe to have to cholos. Hainu dinim navloy cholot. Elamandor Rabbi Yaakov Baracha. But according to the opinion that that the Gadol Hador that was with the main Gadol Hador was Rav Yaakov Bar Acha, my nimna v'loy cholas. How could Rebbe decide not to do it? Reb Shimon Gamliel Nossi Hafa, the father of Rebbe, was Reb Shimon Gamliel. The whole world has to be choilet their outer garment when the Gadol Hador dies, when the Nossi dies. Kasha. So it's bleibt a kasha. After shloishim by other mesim, you can take a haircut. There is a principle by if parents pass away, you have to grow your beard and grow your hair until your friends tell you, you look ugly, go get a haircut. That's called yigar bo chaver. By other avelim, not parents, you can go to a simcha after 30 days. By parents, you have to stay away for 12 months. Same thing, they used to have rotating meals, but with friends. If it's my turn, I invite everybody, and then next week, it's somebody else's turn, we go to his house. And there was a Suda Simcha that friends do. And that even so, for 12 months, you don't go to such a thing. Meisvei, it says, it says after 30 days, the other kroivim, it's mashma that a regular simcha, like a wedding, is not like simchas mereis. Kasha. A meimer masni hachi. A meimer learned this way. Regarding this friendship suda, you can go right away. There's a price that says for a simcha 30 days and for this friendship dinner 30 days. So, like kasha haba risusa, if he's the first one that has to do the mishta, he's not returning the favor. He's the first one, so that you have to wait until 30 days. But haba paranusa, but if you have to return the favor, piraon, after a friend did it initially, you have to follow up, and it's his turn. He has a chiyuv, he can't push it off, so he can do it la'alter. The Shulchan Aruch says, you can go to a Beis HaMishta for a simcha after 30 days. You have to wait 12 months. Even if it's a leap year, so it would be 13 months. The simcha mereya shechayev lefaru miyad mutter lasoisu lachar shiva. The simcha mereya you can do immediately after shiva. However, al avi v'imo, that's by other mesim. Al avi v'imo also b'chol mikrat shnei masar chodesh. By parents, you can't go to any simcha. Simcha shel mitzvah, like marrying a yosem to a yisoma, and maybe if he doesn't go, it's going to be mizbatel mutter la'achar shloishim. In such a case, he can go after 30 days. We're talking about even for parents. The sudas mitzvah shein bo simcha, like pidyon ben bris milah, mutter lavo afilu tok shiva im eno yotzei mepesach beito. He can go even during shiva, as long as he doesn't go out of his house. However, a minig shelo lecho b'chol suda kol shnei masar chodesh. The minig is, it's also to eat from any suda outside of his house the whole 12 months. The imu bal bris or moyo, but if he's the father of the bris or the moyo, mutter lil bosh big day Shabbos bizman habris, the lechol besuda lachar shloishim, and in that case he can eat at the suda after 30 days. Now, here's an important ramah. Yeshi tiru lo avel. This is the heter, where somebody goes to a wedding and he serves as the usher, or he does some function at the wedding. It's based on the Ramah, the Shulchan Aruch. Okay, so if you need to know the source of that, here it is. I'll call Amesim Kulon. Hang on. I'll call Amesim Kulon Korea Tafach. you only tear kriya a tefach. Al avi va'al imo achi galas libo. You got to tear until you see his heart. Honor vavo ma'ikra, vaychazek David bivgadav vayikraim. He held on to his garments and tore them. Ve'nachiza pachos mitefach. Holding on to something is at least a tefach. By other relatives, when you tear kriya, you only, even if you're wearing 10 garments, you only tear the outer garment. Al aviv alimo koreas kulan. You got to tear all 10. Vafikarsuso enem me'akeves. Your undershirt, that's right on your, that you don't have to tear. Echad aish ve'echad isha. And it's the same kriyas by men and women. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, Aisha karas esa tachtoin. She tears the undergarment, umachzirasu lachorea, and then turns it upside down, like the choizeres for karas, and then tears the outer one, so that it's so she won't show her flesh. Tznius. Akol hamesim kulon rotza, mavdil kamesafa shalo. You can move the kriya away from, let's say, the opening for your head. So the kriya is separate from the opening of the garment. You have the choice. Ratza ena mavdil. You could be mavdil, you cannot be mavdil. Alavi valimo mavdil. No, but by aviv, you got to tear right through the opening of the garment. You know, I mean, called kriya she'ena mavdil kamesafa shelo eno ela kera shel tiflus. Rabbi Yehuda said every kriya has to be like that, otherwise it's nothing. My time in Rabbi Yehuda, he tore it in two. If he tore them, I know he tore them into two. It has to appear as if it's been torn into two. You can sew it up, sort of in an ugly way, not a fine stitch, after Shiva. And then and then you can do a fine correcting of it after Shiva, after Shloshim. But al aviv alimo shole lachar shloshim, by parents, you can close it up in an ugly way after 30 days, and ve'eno machlo, you can never do a perfect correction ever by parents. Vayisha sholalto la'alto mekfoto, but it's not covered for women to go around with torn garments, so they do it right away. For all other mesim, you could use a kli or your hand. It's more painful to the ovel if you tear it by hand. It could be on the inside, not on the outer garment. For parents, has to be on the outer garment. The same didn't create if the nasi dies. The nasi comparison to parents was only by that you're not allowed to ever repair it completely. And my love afilu nasi, and that's even the nasi. Lo lebarman nasi, except for the nasi. Except for the nasi. By a nasi, the din will be exact like your father. Nasiya shachid, the nasi died. Don't sit on your high place and stand there. And show everybody that you have to tear kriya, so everybody will see you do it. So the people will know that you have to, you're chayiv kriya. Al chacham choletz miyomi. For chacham, you tear kriya on the right side. Alav bezdin is small. He shows his. No, this is choletz. They used to remove like a garment, like they would wear a toga and they would uncover their shoulder. That's called chlitza. So for the chacham, you remove the right shoulder. Alav bezdin is small. Al nasi, you remove both. Mikan and mikan. Talking about a chacham shemes, beis midrash botel. His beis medrash, you don't learn there. Av beis din shemes kol bate midrash should be iro betelim. The Av beis din dies. All the yeshivas in that town don't learn. V'nichlos beis hakneses. They go to shul, Mishanis Makom, they don't sit in their normal place. Hayoshim Mitzofan, Yoshim Midam, Hayoshim Midam, Yoshim Mitzofan. Those in the north sit in the south, those in the south sit in the north. Nasi Shemeis, if the Nasi dies, Batim and Rosh is Kula Batilim. All these yeshivas are closed. Everybody goes to shul. Okay. Tomorrow we're going to learn at 8 in the morning.
Okay. Shkoyach, honey.
Shkoyach, Mario. Thank you for sending me all the Gemara. I was able